Welcome back, WoodwardSports.com. It is a fill-in-the-blank Friday. Sean Belegian is here. Sean, are you familiar with the game fill-in-the-blank Friday?
I'm not, but let's go.
All right. Here you go, Tom Massaway.
Let's do it, guys. I'm going to give you a little something. Just fill in the blank, all right? Here we go.
Self-explanatory.
Saquon Barkley. We've heard about the issues he's had with the Giants. He wants to get paid or else. So I'm going to give to you, Saquon Barkley will blank against Dallas on opening night.
Sitting at home.
Oh.
Sitting at home. I smell an Emmitt Smith. I smell an Emmitt Smith. It'll be couple weeks after the season starts. He'll do it.
I am going to say Saquon Barkley will be in the starting lineup versus Dallas on opening day. I don't think he will be at training camp. I think he will take this as far and as long as he can go. But when it's all said and done, maybe just after that third preseason game where you have a week in between the last preseason game and the regular season opener, I think at that point you get something done. I think he'll be in the starting lineup.
Quinnen Williams just got a deal done with the Jets. We'll tell you about that later. That was like their number one guy to go after once they signed everybody else. I think the Giants get a deal done with Saquon Barkley by Monday. I predict by the end of this weekend, he will be a happy man and he will be in camp. Especially when they come here and play the Lions week 1. They will have a joint practice with the G-Men. I think we'll see Saquon Barkley at Allen Park. So I say he will be playing against them Cowboys. All right. Keep it home here. Jahmyr Gibbs will accumulate blank yards, total yards this season. Jahmyr Gibbs will have blank combined yards this season.
Jahmyr Gibbs will have 1,000 plus total yards this year. I will say 500 rushing, 500 receiving for 1,000 plus total yards.
I was going to 1,300.
Oh,
I 1,300. I can see 800, 500, something like that.
That's Pro Bowl.
These people that go crazy and go 2,000 yards.
Right.
Guys, the league has changed the way they utilize running backs. He's not going to get that many touches, but I think he's going to make the most of his touches.
I think he's going to get more receiving yards than he will rushing yards, and I'm going to stay right with you guys. I'll say about 1,200 total yards from scrimmage for Jahmyr Gibbs. The quarterback, Jared Goff, will be a top blank quarterback this year in the whole NFL. Top, how many, Sean?
I'll say 10. I'll say top 10. I can't go any higher than that.
That
top
is
10.
very impressive. Here's what I struggle with Jared Goff.
We're talking not NFC, right? NFL? Top 10?
Top 10.
Here's where I struggle with Jared Goff in terms of my heart and my head. The dude only threw 7 picks last year. 29 touchdowns, 7 picks. That is an incredible touchdown to interception ratio. He went 350 plus passes without throwing an interception.
For a guy that was a turnover machine for a few years before that.
A fumbling machine.
I think he fumbled, 3 or 4 times the entire season?
Yeah, not towards the end of the year even.
And none in the final 10 weeks of the season? Man, can you recreate that? Can he really recreate that? Could he go 35 touchdowns and 12 interceptions? Would that, would you rather 35 and 12 or 29 and 7? Can he repeat that year is what I'm saying. And I guess I'm going to go with what my heart tells me and say yes. The offensive line is better. The weapons are better. Another year in Ben Johnson's system. I think he's coming into his prime. I think each and every step of the way where Jared Goff has been at every level of his playing career in college, in the NFL, he has been undersold. The Rams threw him away. Everybody here in Detroit was throwing him away. The minute he got traded here, I think Goff is primed for a huge season. So I will say he will also have a top 10 year.
You know what the difference is? Because I confessed this last year. I was one of those guys. Look, the numbers spoke for themselves. What he did late in his tenure with the Rams and what he did early in his tenure with the Lions, I can't apologize for that. He was a turnover machine. He was a guy that you would look at as a bridge. But I'll tell you what, you give him a heck of a lot of credit, and I know we're going to talk about this in a minute. give Ben Johnson credit because
Oh, yeah.
I remember a guy. Remember Lombardi? Lombardi tried to make Stafford fit into his system as opposed to the opposite way. As opposed to making his system fit and suit Stafford's strengths. And Ben Johnson played to Jared Goff's strengths. And that was key for not only Ben Johnson, but for Jared Goff as well.
Let's just go over this. And, Sean, you're going to be great at this because you and me can just rattle the teams off. Let's see how many quarterbacks are going to be in the top 10.
Okay.
AFC East, Josh Allen, top 10?
Yes.
Tua.
No.
Mac Jones.
No. Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, yes. No?
I'm going to keep that one over here.
Okay.
So far, only one.
Yeah, I'll debate
Okay.
on Aaron Rodgers. Listen, Aaron Rodgers wasn't very good last year, and we can talk about what he didn't have. But Aaron Rodgers wasn't very
No,
good.
he had
last year.
he had a poor year.
Yeah,
He wasn't an Aaron Rodgers. So far, you got one. Okay, let's go to the Central, to the North. Joe Burrow.
yes,
So that's two.
Yes.
Lamar Jackson.
yes,
Kenny Pickett.
no,
Who's my fourth? Deshaun Watson.
no.
Okay.
And
I
like
think
Deshaun.
I
like
tell
Deshaun.
all these
I
guys,
like
look
him.
out for the Cleveland Browns.
Okay,
You do not pay a guy $250
I
million
like
to have
Deshaun,
a,
but
fair enough for this discussion.
Anyone in the AFC South, from the Colts, the Texans,
No.
Jacksonville?
No.
Well,
Oh,
Trevor Lawrence.
Lawrence.
yeah, I'll go Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, that's four.
Okay,
Let's go to the West.
4.
Russell Wilson.
No,
Okay.
big step back, but no,
Jimmy G.
no.
San Diego Chargers.
Herbert.
Justin
I
Herbert.
like Justin Herbert.
That's
a lot.
5.
I got
Mahomes.
Mahomes. 6. Okay, now we go to the NFC. So far, you got 6.
Yes.
Daniel Jones.
No.
No.
Hurts.
Sam Howell.
No.
Hurts.
Yes.
That's 7.
Dak.
Dak.
No.
Okay, we go to our division.
No.
No Cousins.
No.
Nobody
No.
else. Okay, so we got 7.
Yeah.
Let's not put Goff in yet.
Okay.
Next division in the NFC South.
Nobody in the
Nobody.
South. Derek Carr.
Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield.
No.
And then in the West, Stafford.
See, when you put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he's
I
top
feel
10.
good about putting him top
Yeah.
10.
Right.
He's top 10.
So you
You
have
can top 8?
so then you have
Could be.
Stafford.
Lord.
Wait, you have Stafford,
Stafford.
Purdy.
Uh,
Who?
Kyler Murray was not
No,
going to play.
Kyler Murray, no.
And-
And Gino.
No. You guys
No.
are right.
no.
He's top 10. He's top 8.
Yeah, he could be.
So, but what you just said is that he's top 2 in the NFC.
Yeah.
So that's what
Wow.
you just said.
Yeah.
Wow. See, there's no guessing now. We went through the whole NFL.
That's what you just
Holy
said. Top
garbage.
2.
Holy Christ.
Hey.
Uh,
Oh, that's unreal.
every other quarterback you named. What do you think of Matthew Stafford this week while we're here?
Well, the whole is he going to be traded stuff aside, I mean, which is kind of funny. Look, when McVay's done with a guy, he's done with a guy.
Right.
He did the same thing to Goff. Let's see if he's eventually done with Stafford. But I think, much like we were worried about a few years ago, the injuries have caught up to Stafford a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, he's at a point right now. This is a guy that took China Doll very personally, if you remember.
Right.
He had a couple freak injuries early in his career, and he showed his durability. But, the wear and tear on a body, man, they were such a tough watch last year, too. They were a really tough
He only
watch.
played half the
that
year.
is
Yeah.
the Rams are my bold, like if you have to have a bold prediction team to make the playoffs because the NFC is so wide open, I feel like that the Rams are that team for me. And in the AFC, the Broncos are that team for me this year because I do believe with Sean Payton and Russell Wilson, I
step
think there's
back
going to
up.
be
He's not that
little bit of
bad.
a renaissance.
He's
yeah.
not that bad. I think he's another guy like we were talking about earlier when Lombardi was here.
Right.
When Lombardi tried to pound a square peg into a round
Yep.
hole. It's never going to fit. And I think that was the situation that Stafford was in when Lombardi was here, and certainly Russell Wilson was in last year in Denver.
All right, I got 2 more for you. This is on the college side. The Michigan Wolverines will win blank games this season.
13-1. 13-1.
So 13, Ryan.
14.
I won't argue it too
I
much.
think they're going to win 14 games. I think they are going to drop a game that you wouldn't anticipate them to lose. I think they're going to lose a game at Nebraska, a
So you
game
got 13
at
then as well.
Penn State. And I still think they win the Big Ten championship and get into I think they win the national championship this year with a 14-1 record. I think they finish the regular season 11-1, get a 12th win in the Big Ten championship game, 13th win in the college football playoff, and a 14th win on Monday night in January
At
and win the
7:30.
national championship.
I love you. You bring so much joy to my life, Ryan. I'm serious.
You
when I
love
say
this.
that.
They
kind of
will
stuff.
not go 15-0, but they will win the national championship
You
this
guys,
year.
okay, seriously, and I know I've had fun at both of your expense over the years with the Michigan slappiness, okay? No, I'm serious. I'm coming correct. They are by far the measuring stick in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
They are. They are. We as a conference have shown for years running now, we don't belong in the same stratosphere as those teams in the SEC.
No.
And I know people around here don't like to hear it, and I get called names, and Drew Sharp, the late Drew Sharp was another guy.
I can hear him
the
cackling
Big Ten
right now.
sucks.
That
The Big Ten
everybody,
sucks.
you know, everybody. Oh, you guys, no, it has nothing to do with loving the SEC. It has to do with, guys, they're on a different plane than us. That Georgia team last year, that was a Georgia team that was in transition, and look how scary they were. It was frightening. So Ryan, if they do that, if Michigan does that, wow.
I just
my
think,
jaw
too,
would drop. I'm not lying.
I just think, too, if not now, I'm not sure it happens.
Next
If
year
not-
is a gauntlet.
Next
year,
and
big
it's
boys
got
join.
nothing to do with next year either. But if not now, I think this is Harbaugh's best team you could possibly have as a head coach at Michigan. I don't think you could possibly have a better team than this one coming back. That's one. And it just feels like the perfect storm. You've got Ohio State at home with a first-year quarterback. Alabama, Georgia, Clemson will introduce new quarterbacks this year. I don't think those teams will be I think LSU is a team that I think a lot of people will worry about. I think USC is coming. I think they've got a great quarterback, but I don't think that their defense is any good at all. And when they get punched in the mouth, how will they respond? I don't think USC will play a better defense than Michigan all year long than the one they will see in a college football playoff or a national championship game. And furthermore, when USC has to go to Columbus, go to East Lansing, or go to Ann Arbor, or go up to Camp Randall and play a football game in October, November, I think they will fall flat on their face.
Why have so many people put USC on a pedestal?
Because of the quarterback and the head coach.
Aren't they absolutely at a I'll believe it when I'll see
Yes.
it point? And they have been for years. USC.
But they are in better shape now than they've been.
No question. But how many times? You know what I go back to? The greatest coach in the history of mankind, who also doubles as the greatest recruiter in the history of
Nick
mankind, Lane Kiffin.
Oh, Lane Kiffin.
Do you remember?
Yep.
Oh, this is the perfect world coming together. Now everything, you've got this entity and that entity, and USC was still USC.
Yep.
I'll believe it when I see it. And I'm going to say the same thing to USC that I used to say to all the people around here about Michigan. Try winning your conference first. Let's work on winning your conference first, and then we'll have some of those conversations about national greatness. And Michigan did. And Michigan is the measuring stick. Sorry, Buckeyes. Michigan is the measuring stick now. So that's the way I feel about USC. For all the promise, for all the... No, really, they've got everything together now. I'm sorry. I'm in prove-it mode. I'm absolutely in prove-it mode.